body's own immune system and how it reacts to them. And when your immune system is overactive, okay, because it's been stimulated a lot, then it's going to react basically the same to either way. And what happens is that there are certain cells in our body called mast cells, which are kind of our main fighters of allergens. And they're close to the surface, they're on your skin, they're in your throat, they're in your sinus cavity, they're also in your digestive system. And so when a mast cell spots a foreign invader coming into your body, make it not too good at drawing noses, but that's a nose. Okay? And so that goes up into your nose and it hits a mast cell and we get what's called an allergic reaction, which your body secretes things like histamine, and leukotrienes. There's a Y in there. Histamine is what makes the red eyes, itchy, okay, makes your throat close up, sneezing, runny eyes, all those good things. Leukotrienes make mostly mucus, which gives you a runny nose, hocking up things out of your throat, kind similar and can be very much associated with asthma reactions where you have difficulty breathing. So what we do conventionally in the medical world is take antihistamines. Okay? Well, part of the problem is that this, as much as we don't like the way it reacts, that's your immune system. Okay? And that's your body's way of dealing with it. However, when we're very sensitive to allergens, our immune system overreacts. Okay? And some of us more than others. So right now, we got tree pollen and ragweed and all these other good things flying around here. But why does it bother you guys and doesn't bother you guys? Okay, we're both exposed to the same amount of allergens. That has to do with how much garbage has accumulated in our bodies. Because the more we have, the more reactive we're going to be. The less we have, the less reactive we're going to be because our normal body's defense mechanisms and ways of eliminating allergens and toxins is working properly and we don't have an excess amount accumulated. The most common area, or the area we need to focus on first, and this is going to seem like every other lecture that I give, has to do with your gut and your digestive tract, because that's 80% of your body's immune base. And anything that you inhale is basically going down into your digestive tract. However, it's not so much what we inhale, it's what we eat. Okay? The problem with our food supply now are things like, of course, GMOs, genetically modified engineered plants. And the biggest cause of weakening your immune system are the antibiotics they use in raising cattle, chicken, pigs. Okay? One of the things that antibiotics do, okay, not only does it prevent the disease and things like that, it makes them fat, makes them larger, has growth enhancers in them. So that's probably the main reason they use it in the industry is they get more yield. The cow's bigger, the chicken's bigger, everything's bigger if they put it on antibiotics. The problem is that antibiotics kill all the bacteria. But now we're starting to get bacteria that are smart, and we're getting these superbugs. And the problem is that they use the strongest antibiotics we have available in our food. So what happens then, the bacteria become immune to them, and you get these superbug infections, and you give the antibiotics, and they don't work. So what you have to do is to build up your body's natural flora. Last month's cooking class, we did fermented vegetables. Right? Those are extremely important into building up your gut flora. Okay, because what antibiotics are doing is they kill all bacteria. They don't single out good guys and bad guys. They're not smart bombs. Okay, they're blanket bombs, and they just kill everything. So just by eating food that has antibiotics in it, you are killing your normal flora in your digestive system. Okay? You don't even have to take, so many people that we test in the office, and are positive for yeast, probably 80% of everyone we test is, and it's like, have you been on antibiotics? No, I haven't taken antibiotics in the past 3 or 5 years. But you've eaten food that's contained it. And so everyone's exposed to antibiotics. Okay? And we really, really need to push, our legislators and stuff, to stop raising animals with antibiotics. It will kill us. Eventually, this is going to cause one mass superbug infection that's going to wipe out as many people as the plague did, or the flu of 1980. Okay? And millions of people are going to die because these bugs are constantly regenerating themselves and refiguring themselves to go around this stuff. So what happens is that when you actually do get sick and they go to use these antibiotics, they've already been exposed to them in the food. So they're resistant to them. That's not going to work. The only thing that's going to save you is building up your own immune system. So that, believe it or not, is why when you eat certain foods, you get congested. Okay? Your sinuses flare up. Right? So many people, I don't think Deb here tonight, Deb was one of my severe allergy patients for years, chiropractic patient, and nothing worked for her until she decided to go through enzyme therapy, change her diet. She lost like 45 pounds, and her allergies were much more in control than they were. But years and years of allergy medications and things like that predispose you and weaken your body. So the main thing is what we gotta get off. You gotta start eating local. There's some websites that will list, and I will make sure we post them tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to write them down. I'm still got jet lag from traveling to the dog show. Got back like this today. That list, you need to eat grass-fed beef. You need to eat free-range chicken. You need to never put anything in your mouth that is pasteurized. Okay? Pasteurization is heating food at high temperatures to kill all the bacteria. The problem is it kills all the good stuff. Okay? Whole raw milk is good for you. Okay, I'll probably go to jail for saying that, but that's where you're going to get a good source of probiotics. Your fermented vegetables. Okay? You need to clean out your immune system. Some of the ways, we do that are through enzymes. Most of all of you here, and if you don't have it, Melissa would be glad to provide it for you. There's a breathing exercise that we teach. And it's real simple, where you lay on your back and you take a deep breath in and you blow it out. Now you want to put your hand on your stomach so that when you take a breath in, your stomach goes up. Okay, that means your diaphragm moved down. You took a big deep breath. Women are notoriously shallow breathers because they don't like sticking their stomachs out. Okay? So don't breathe and your stomach never moves. So lay on your back and make sure the sucker goes all the way up there. Because one of the main pumps of your lymphatic system is in your diaphragm. And the farther it moves down, the more it pumps. Okay? The other one is located at the base of your skull. So when we breath in, we tilt our head back. You know, obviously you're doing this laying down. When we blow out, the chin comes down to our chest. Okay? The other pump is located at the bottom of your spine. Right? Because it has to pump the spinal fluid around, which is involved in the lymphatic system. So what we do is we take a breath in, tilt our head back, point our feet down. Okay? And we'll blow it out. Chin comes down, feet go up. Think of the fireplace billow. Okay? As you pull it apart, head and feet go away, all the air comes in. Breathe in. As you squeeze it together, feet and head come closer together, all your air goes out. Okay? You lay on your back each morning and you do that 10 times. That will make a dramatic improvement of the flow of your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is your body's sewer system. So it's where all the garbage and dead cells and toxins and yuck all go. Okay? So it gets thick. And so it needs help pumping and moving it around. Enzymes that we use will thin it out, okay, and help it to flow better. The other main two organs that you need to work on cleaning out are your liver and your kidneys. Okay? Your kidneys are what filter your blood. Notoriously, if you have stress in your kidneys because you eat too much processed food, eat too many carbohydrates, too many sugars, okay, your kidneys get overworked. You can experience like muscular lower back pain, you're going to have allergies, and you're going to have dark circles under your eyes. Okay, so ask your significant other, take a look. Dark circles under your eyes, the reason you can see it is your blood vessels are closest to the surface here. Okay? And there's a big network of capillaries right here. So when your blood is very dirty, you're going to get dark under your eyes. Your kidneys are the main organ that filter your blood. By supporting your kidneys, you know, we use the kidney enzyme, and I can't tell you what herbs are in there right now. I'm going to figure out a bottle I didn't, but tell you, or you can get some. That is the most important thing you can do if you suffer from allergies, is to support your kidneys. Drinking excess amounts of water does not do it. That is a myth that you're going to flush things out. Okay? It's not going to happen. All you're going to do is put more work on your kidneys because everything that goes in your body has to be filtered and processed. So, 4 or 5 glasses of water a day are plenty. Obviously, if you're out working in the hot sun and sweating a lot, you may need a little more. But you need a good 12-ounce glass of water at every meal. Okay? You're not eating dehydrated food. All your food and your vegetables and your fruits are 70% water anyway. Okay, so believe it or not, you get water from there, especially vegetables. Okay? That's another thing is that the Roundup, okay, which is called this is the pesticide that they put on everything. And it's supposed to be safe. But it's not. Because again, it's killing all the good bacteria right along with the bad bacteria. So you need to eat some dirt. Okay? You need to wash your hands so frequently. Because you get a good source of bacteria if you play in the dirt. Okay? When we were kids, I talked about this last time, when we were playing outside in the dirt every day, we were much healthier. When people had dirt floors in their homes, that was their main source of probiotics. Okay? Because soil organisms generally are healthy. Okay? And just like the black steak eats the poisonous steak, the good bacteria fight off the bad bacteria. But what we did was we got on this clean kick. Okay? And we got antibacterial soaps and all kinds of Formula 409 and all kinds of things we spray on our counters, and we sanitize our houses. We are killing just as many or more good bacteria than bad bacteria. It kills everything. Okay? Listerine kills 99.9% of all germs. Right? I use Listerine as kind of my main form of disinfectant for a cut. Okay? I treat the dogs with it. I give you a little tip. You get a hot You know what a hot spot is on your animals? Okay? They're nasty. They're staph infections. They're bacterial infections. So you can go to the vet and you can pay all kinds of big money for, different sprays and things to put on there and antibiotics. Or you can take a tablespoon of Listerine and mix it with a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, and rub it right on there and it'll be gone by the next day. Okay? Because the Listerine kills just about every germ there is, and the olive oil suffocates them, cuts off their oxygen supply. So that works fantastic on hot spots. But Listerine's a great antiseptic. Another form of allergens or things that are BPA or plastics. Right? All our plastic water bottles, we want to get them BPA free. Right? It's real convenient to buy bottled water. I make the mistake, and I do sometimes. It's just easier. Most of it isn't any better than it's coming out of your tap anyway. Okay? What you want to do is get yourself. This is one investment. It costs you a few dollars. It will last you forever. I've had mine for well over 10 years. I replace the filters once a year for $45. And go to a website called Watershed. .net, and you get what's called a miracle fountain. Okay, its generic name is an alkalizer. Okay? What this machine does, it will filter out everything, okay, including mercury, all your bad chemicals, but it separates the acid and the alkaline water. Okay? The alkaline water is much better for you to drink. Alkalizing your body cuts down a lot of inflammation. Okay? It prevents cancer. It's good for arthritis. Okay? So, you've heard about the alkaline way, different trends in the thing. The easiest way to alkalize, because foods are difficult. What goes in as an acidic food becomes an alkaline, and what goes in as an alkaline food becomes acidic, and each body kind of reacts differently. But using these filters are about $500. Okay, you can hook it onto your tap. Right? You can really get a deluxe one to your whole house. What you do is it's going to separate, and coming out one hose is going to be the acid one. Okay? What you do is fill up a gallon jug with that and use that to wash. Okay? That is the best exfoliant you can get. It will take all your dead cells off. Your skin will feel smoother than it's ever felt. Okay, but don't drink the acid water, drink the alkaline water. Cook with it. Okay, you don't really need to bathe in it, but you need to cook your food in as clean of water as possible. Okay? And try to drink 4 or 5 glasses of that a day. That will help promote a good bacteria growth in the digestive tract. One of the things that happens with sinuses is you get a lot of pollen and yes.
What if you have well water?
I have well water.
So you still use it?
I was real surprised when I came from Florida. We have the worst water on earth. We got here with well water. Man, this is really good water. This tastes great. And then I got cancer, and I learned about the acid thing. Okay? So when I tested myself when I came down with cancer, like we did a 24-hour urine test, my pH was like 5.3. It needs to be between 6.3 and 6.7 on the average. And so that was, that's acid is a great environment for things like cancer and arthritis and that and inflammation. So I tested my well, and my well was like highly acidic, it's like 5.8. And we have really acidic water around here. That's one reason we grow good tomatoes. So you're looking to neutralize the acid as much as possible. And it's amazing because when our filters, and there's a meter on there that tells you when they start to wear out. And when they get to the end, man, I can tell a big difference in the taste of the water. You know, and then that was, I always thought before I got the machine was much better. So one of the things is again, getting back to, you know, Ms. Letty, you had a question for me?
What about a water distiller? Is
The distiller is going to take a lot of the metallic chemicals out. Okay, we'll take some. Yeah. You know, they're good. They're not as good as an alkalizer filter, which is a double filtering system. Filters out everything down to like 0.05 microns, which has to be a pretty small thing to get past that. And it's important. The other thing is you're going to accumulate things in your nose, okay? And that's where those mast cells are. They're going to react to allergens. So one of the things you want to do is to clean out your nose. We do your saline, a neti pot are real good. Don't go crazy on the thing and doing it 2 or 3 times a day. Once a day is plenty. There's different salines you can buy, you know, to flush out your nasal cavity. That's kind of important because, you know, they have a lot of hairs in there and they get stuck to them, especially if you're working outside or cutting grass and things like that. It's important to clean it out. The other thing, so, questions so far? Alright. Some of the things, obviously, that we can do is, like I said, our digestive tract is the most important. So we want to definitely eat organic. Okay. Eat grass-fed beef. I don't even know if they have grass-fed pork, but, you know, free range, which means chickens that eat grass. Fruits and vegetables. If they're organic, I wouldn't wash them. Okay? You want to get some of those good bacteria in there, some of that dirt. Okay, washing everything is not good. If they're not organic, then you want to get yourself an organic fruit and vegetable wash. Okay? And wash these chemicals off. Now, if something has a thick skin that you're peeling off before you cook it, don't worry about it. Okay, everything's on the skin. It's not going to penetrate a banana or a cucumber or a zucchini. Things like strawberries are chemical sponges. Okay, we all love strawberries around here, but they're probably the single worst thing you can eat. I still eat some. Okay, I love them, but you gotta wash strawberries because they put huge amounts of pesticides on. Blueberries, blackberries, all your berries have very thin skin and tend to get sprayed. Obviously, if you're growing it yourself, you know what's going on there. What's the best pesticide you can use in your gardens? Dilute dish soap. Okay? Just take some dish soap and spray and dilute it with water and spray it on there. That's going to kill most of all your bad organisms. Okay? And then wash it with soap and just rinse it off with water. As we talked about in the past, nuts that are the most allergic are peanuts. Okay? If you suffer from allergies, stay away from peanuts. Peanuts are the only nuts that are growing in the ground. All other nuts grow on trees, so they pick up a lot of garbage from the ground, especially if they're using a lot of pesticides around there. It's all in the dirt. Again, what's going to determine how bad your allergies are how much garbage is stored in your body to begin with. It's like if I had a leak in the roof and I put a bucket there and it was just dripping, well, it'll take a lot of drips before the bucket fills up. But once the bucket's full, every drip makes it overflow.
So that's where, you know, you gotta clean out your liver and clean out your kidneys. The easiest way to clean out your liver is to do a liver flush, which I've had some of you in here too. Okay? It's not fun. You feel much better after you do it. Okay, it's something we can give you. It's at the office. It's kind of like a colonoscopy prep, so you don't want to be leaving home while you're doing it. Because you clean out everything from about your eyeballs on down, but it will detoxify and get all the chemicals. Your liver is your chemical filtering organ. So all chemicals have to be filtered out through your liver. Okay? It's also where your lymphatic system dumps into. So again, all the garbage is coming into your liver. It's also what produces bile and digestive enzymes to digest fats and proteins. Okay? Produces salt to neutralize stomach acids. So the drugs that are the worst are, especially if you're suffering from allergies. Right? Nexium, which is also Prilosec. There's about 50 other what they call proton pump inhibitors. These shut off your stomach acid production so that you don't have GERD anymore. Right? Well, good. But guess what? Stomach acid is in your stomach for a reason. Okay? It's what starts the digestive process. And those of you that are suffering from GERD, it is not because you are producing too much stomach acid. It's because you probably are not producing enough. However, if you don't have stomach acid, you can't digest protein. Okay? So if you can't digest protein into amino acids, that is mainly what your body uses to repair itself. Okay? It's what your body uses as its main building blocks to build almost everything. There's good proteins and bad proteins, but protein in general is the most important food we need to take in. We need to, you know, if you're suffering from allergies, I lean towards a paleo diet, grain-free. Okay? Get away from grain. One, because we weren't really meant to eat it, it's hard to digest. Two, grain has the most amount of GMOs and chemical things on it than any of our other foods. So, you know, grain-free where it's fruits, vegetables, and meat, fishes, good oils, okay, which is where to go over some of the things you should take. NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Advil, Motrin, I believe Aleve is in the NSAID category. Right? These will destroy your digestive tract. Okay? They will absolutely burn a hole through your stomach. I know firsthand, I did it. Okay? Years ago, I had a bone graft done on my jaw, severe periodontal problems. And they were going to do my whole mouth all at one time. Oh, you'll just be out for a week. And I'm like, I know my mouth. I've always had sensitive teeth and issues. So I said, no, let's just do 1 quarter and see what happens. So they did my upper quarter with a bone graft. I got the most severe reaction and pain. I could not breathe through my mouth for 2 weeks. I couldn't eat anything. I could handle lukewarm water. Okay? If I was driving in the car and the air conditioning blew my mouth, I'd about pass out. It was the most painful thing I ever felt. Well, Percocet helped, but I couldn't possibly take Percocet and work. So I took Advil. And I would take 4 Advil 3 times a day. And this was a good 20 years ago. And when I told you I take the food, it was supposed to be okay. Well, right after that, Hurricane Andrew came through. And that really freaked me out because it was coming right at us and it turned and went 30 miles south and just completely destroyed South Florida. It was a 30-mile wide tornado. Okay. So we were kind of freaked out by it. We went on vacation to my wife's family and went to our favorite Mexican restaurant and I like hot place of food. And man, I got this pain that wouldn't go away. Next thing you know, I had black stools and I had a bleeding ulcer. Okay? And I realized it all came from the Advil is what started. So if you do take them, you have to take them with food. I would recommend you don't take them. Okay? What you got to gotta do is you gotta get the inflammation out of your body. That's what's causing the pain. Okay? The problem with this, well, you know, beef causes inflammation. Well, it does if it just lives on corn and soybeans. If it's eating grass, okay, it's not going to have the inflammation that comes from corn and wheat. Corn and wheat are the two most inflammatory foods that we ingest. And any inflammation is going to cause allergies, okay, and it's going to cause aches and pains. So in order to negate this, we want to eat organic. We want to eat non-processed foods. Those are foods that don't come from Swanson and Beatrice. You know, you can't think of all the other good manufacturers that put things in boxes, okay, and have 15 different chemicals in there, all right? Half of the names you can't pronounce. No, you need to eat food that you bought at the Saturday market, or that you grew out back, or you can get some of the ancient grains, the non-GMO grains. There's some people around here in Spartanburg that grow it. Some places have brought it to me. You could buy it on the internet. Melissa can tell you where to get it at Ingles. You gotta get the organic, non-GMO stuff. I know it's a little bit more money, but it's going to save your life. Okay? It's going to provide, you're gonna have less aches and pains and less doctor bills, so invest your money where you can in what you eat. Because what you put into your body is the most important thing for preventing disease and preventing problems. Okay? I'm not saying that you can't go out on Saturday night and go eat your favorite junk. We all do. Okay? But you gotta, you know, try and be good 5 days a week. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna start feeling better, and then when you do eat the junk, your body's gonna kick you upside the head and you're gonna feel like crap. Okay? Or it's really gonna upset your stomach. So, you know, try and do a little garden in your back. Even if you got a porch, grow some pot, you know, put some things in pots. Okay? The more fresh vegetables you can get, the better. Okay? Fruits, on the other hand, are high in sugar. Okay? And one of the most common causes of allergy or nasal or congestion, sinus symptoms comes from your gut and comes from having too much yeast or bad bacteria. They thrive off of sugar. Okay? All fruit is sugar. Now, one of the things that you'll hear is that local honey will help with allergies. Yes, it will help with a few types of allergies. Okay? If you happen to be allergic to the plant that bee is getting its pollen from, then you won't be allergic to that anymore if you were to eat the honey. Okay? But it's not going to give you blanket immunity to all allergies. Okay? It's only going to give you immunity to what that bee made its honey from. You know, what tree it was, what type of bush it was, those will help. However, there's a high amount of sugar and fructose in honey. So you have to, if you're suffering from type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, honey is not a good thing for you to use to control your allergies, because it might help your allergies and then throw your blood sugar out of whack. You're going to throw your blood pressure way out. Some of the best things to eat are omega-3s. Okay, omega-3s are your good fatty acids. They come from fish. They come from olive oil. They come from avocados. Okay? There's a lot of good fat foods there. You can take supplements of fish oil. You have to watch out though, because so much of our fish is farm raised. You don't want them coming from farm raised fish. Cats come from wild fish. And the problem is everything's getting so polluted. Don't eat anything that comes out of the Atlantic. Okay? There's an Atlantic salmon they sell now. There is no such thing as an Atlantic salmon. It's a farm raised salmon that they dye pink. Okay, and the farms are on the Atlantic seaboard. Okay? You want to eat fish from the colder Alaska Pacific was really good until Japan had their big blow up and, so that started to get tainted. Norway, okay? If you wanna take fish oil, there's a company called Nordic Naturals. We have it in the office, you can get it on the internet. This is the best cod liver oil in the world comes from Norway. The problem is that they don't export the good stuff, okay? Well, this is a Norwegian company, okay? The man happens to live in America or something, so this is the real stuff. If you take cod liver oil or fish oil supplements and you burp them after you take them and you taste them all day, it's rancid. It's bad quality fish oil. If it's good, you shouldn't burp it. Cod liver oil is one of the strongest immune builders there is. That's why when your mother, your grandmother, or your mother gave you that when you were a kid and it tasted like, oh yeah, but you didn't get sick. It was one of the things I took when I had cancer and I still take it. Tuna oil is fine. It's a good source. You want your EPA and DHEA, they have to be like a 3-to-1 ratio. Tuna oil is very good. Krill oil is another one. I think krill oil is more of, the designer fish oil. Oh, it's supposed to be the best, so they charge you more money. Good old cod liver oil out of Norway is the best thing you can take. Okay? So that's where you get your omega-3s. Omega-6s, they need to be in an equal ratio. Omega-6s are what cause inflammation. Inflammation is going to cause allergic reactions. Okay? So if your body's already inflamed, you're going to be more sensitive to allergens when there's pollen season. Okay? And so that's why, it may bother one person more than another because they've already got lots of aches and pains. Okay? If you got an inflamed joint for that, you got allergy problems. So what happens, they also, I was reading, believe it or not, is climate change is causing the pollen counts to go much higher. Because winter is starting later and spring is coming 10 to 14 days sooner than it did 20 years ago. So stuff is blooming longer and it's not dead as long as it used to be. So they used to say, I was reading this, that the average ragweed plant produces 1 million pollen spores. Now they're producing 3 and 4 million pollen spores. Right? Childhood asthma and things like that has increased by 60% in the last 20 years. Asthma is just another form of an allergic reaction. Exercise is the most important thing you can do. And you don't have to bike and you don't have to run a marathon and you don't have to go to the gym every day. You gotta get out and walk for 45 minutes, 5 days a week. Because all that movement and all that increase in circulation moves your lymphatic system. And if it moves your lymphatic system, it's moving the garbage out of there. Vitamin D. Very important in controlling inflammation and allergic reactions. You need to get sunlight on your hands and face 10 minutes a day. Okay? You can go out for longer. Okay? You can use a safe tanning bed to make vitamin D. Okay? But it has to be I forget the safe one that produces ultraviolet A and not ultraviolet B. But sunlight or supplement. Now, vitamin D, we talked about last time, is one of the vitamins you can overdose on. So you do want to have your vitamin D level checked. Okay, but it is very common of more and more people that we're finding have low vitamin D levels. It's going to give you problems with sleep. It's going to cause inflammation. It's a very important nutrient that you get in your body. Okay, raw milk. The reason it says the milk carton is pasteurized is vitamin A and D added. It's because pasteurization killed the milk that was naturally in there. So raw milk's a good source. Green leafy vegetables are a good source of vitamin D. Okay? Spinach, kale, things like that. Probiotics. So if you're not eating fermented vegetables, difficult to manufacture. And the problem is that the FDA does not regulate supplements. Okay? So what's on the label is not necessarily what's in the bottle. You need to know who's making it. You need to know what lengths they go to make it. This company that we get ours from for years, they would not ship after like May 15th until September 15th because the temperature was too high in the UPS truck or whatever, and it would kill all the probiotics. They're susceptible to temperature. Okay? Yogurt's a good source, sauerkraut, kefir, any vegetables you could ferment. Okay? It's canning time. Right? Start making your own fermented vegetables. Right? That is a fantastic source of probiotics. If you don't have it, then take one. Here's one you wouldn't think about until hot peppers. Okay? They have a chemical in it called capsaicin. Sure I spelled that wrong. When you eat a hot pepper, what happens? Sweat. Nose runs, eyes tear up. Okay? One of the main ingredients in natural antihistamines and things like that is capsaicin, which they get from hot peppers. Okay? Crushed red pepper is a great thing to add to your food. The more you sweat, the healthier you are. Your skin is an organ. Okay? It eliminates toxins. Alright? When you have breakouts on your skin, pimples and things like that, that's because you have too many toxins in your body for your kidney to filter out. So your skin says, well, I'll help you out, and we'll push some of that out there. So blotchy skin, pimples, breakouts, you always have like in your folds, you make a pimple that's always in one area, and every time you pop it and put stuff on it, it just keeps coming back. Well, that's a portal, that's an exit for your body to pump toxins in. So sweating is really a great way to get rid of toxins that are in your body. Okay? You know, for years, they did saunas. Saunas are fine. They can be a little too dry, but any way you can sweat is good for you. Okay? Go for a good walk on a hot day and sweat. That's one. Obviously, replenish your water when you get back, but sweating, this was one thing I read when I had cancer, you know, the Indian culture, not the American Indian, but the Eastern Indian, and the Western. Their food all makes you sweat. The curry, the cayenne pepper is a great source, you know, of antioxidants and anti-cancer things. And sweating is like, man, I used to just pound stuff in that would make me drip. Garlic. Garlic will make you sweat. It's a great antioxidant. Okay?
Talked about honey. We talked eucalyptus. Okay? Smells great, cleans out your sinuses, open up your passages. Great thing for clearing out your head. Okay? Honey, we talked about. A couple herbs you can get. This is a natural antihistamine, for certain. Okay. Another one is called butterbur. Okay. Butterbur is in the ragweed family. So if you know you're allergic to ragweed, marigolds, things like that, don't take butterbur. You also, these herbs are not good going out into the wild and picking them and making a tea out of them. You want to get something that's actually been processed, because there are some carcinogens in there that they use to remove with the processing. There. So in essence, that's kind of where allergies come from. How you get rid of it is to clean out, help your kidneys clean out your blood, okay? Clean out your liver, restore your digestive tract. That is the single most important. Everything we've ever talked about in here all relates back to your digestive tract. Because basically, 4 things have to happen. You gotta eat good food. You gotta digest it, which means you gotta need enzymes to break it down. You have to absorb it. It needs to be transported to different cells that need the different nutrients. They do their job. Anything that does a job throws out garbage. Okay? That garbage then has to go through the fluids of your body, be filtered out by your kidneys and your liver and your lymphatic system, and go out the door. Okay? If those processes work, we live to be 95 to 100 with no problem. If there's a breakdown in those processes, one, we're eating toxic food, okay? Eating food that we can't digest. And one of the biggest problems with processed food is the enzymes are removed, okay? Because enzymes destroy shelf life. Right? When your banana and your apple and your lettuce starts turning brown and gets wilty inside of you, it's just digesting itself. It's not really bad. It won't hurt you if you eat it. You've just been trained to think that. If you close your eyes and you eat a piece of side lettuce or a piece of regular lettuce, it doesn't taste any different. Probably the side one tastes sweeter because the cells are opening up and releasing their sugar because the enzymes have been released. So what they do is they pass ultraviolet light over fruits and vegetables. Ultraviolet light kills the enzymes. Now, if it's organic, they're not supposed to be passing it through ultraviolet light. That's why it doesn't look as kind of cool or, perfect color. Right? Oranges are not orange when they're picked. They're green. Then they gas them to turn them orange. Okay? Same thing with apples. Okay? Most of them are gassed to turn them a pretty color. Or they're polished or whatever. So organic's important. You have to be able to digest it. So once we get past the age of 40, and we're starting our problems, you need to supplement digestive enzymes. Okay? Or you need to eat organic, naturally growing food and chew it thoroughly. If you don't chew your food, you don't break open the cells and release the enzymes from digestion. The other, probably most important thing, or the number 1 killer, is not eliminating waste. Constipation. Okay? When we were kids, the enema fixed everything. If you're bowel movement, you're going to be better, according to my mom. Okay? She was right. Okay? You can't keep storing toxins in your colon, your body will reabsorb them. It's called leaky gut syndrome. Okay? Leaky gut syndrome causes more allergies than anything. So you need to get your digestive tract working. You need to have roughage in there. Okay? Roughage is better for vegetables, but if you don't cook your vegetables or at least steam them, you have to chew them thoroughly because the outer covering of vegetables is cellulose. Okay? And we don't possess an enzyme to digest cellulose. So in order to break it down, we either have to cook it or chew it. That's why beans are so hard for us to digest. They're very thick cellulose covering. But, however, the bad bacteria that live in your digestive tract, they got an enzyme to digest cellulose. So you'll ever notice why you get gas and bloating a couple hours after you eat and blow up? Usually it's after vegetables or beans or things like that because you didn't break them down enough to be able to digest them. So now all the bacteria are digesting them and they're having a smorgasbord. Okay, and anything it eats produces gas. Right? That's why you blow up and get so bloated after eating certain kinds of foods. Those are ones you can't digest. So if you know you ate this and you felt uncomfortable or bloated, you're not digesting it. Avoid it. Okay, or get some type of enzyme that's going to help you digest it. Apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of Bragg's apple cider vinegar in a glass of water will help your digestion. Okay? If you ever get heartburn, that's the easiest way to get rid of it. Okay? So, increase
problem with, like I said, about the things that shut off your acid production is your stomach then dumps into your small intestine and puts all this acid in it. So your liver is like, whoa, that stuff is really burning, and so it releases bile, which are salts, and that neutralizes the stomach acid. It's also a way that your liver releases the toxins that it's been filtering out of your body. Okay? So if you're taking, proton pump inhibitors to shut off your acid production, you don't dump any acid into your small intestine, your liver doesn't release the bile, it starts to get all full of junk and congested. Right? Then before you know it, you got a gallbladder problem. Right? You get a pain under the right side of your ribcage after you eat, because it keeps it holding on to these toxins and your gallbladder will become diseased. So you need to flush that out every year or two. It's really a good thing to do. I hated doing it. First time I ever did it, I had been told by many of my natural physician colleagues that would test me, I had this chronic chest pain and heartburn, and you have a gallbladder. You need to do a flush. Yeah. Well, I actually got to the point where I was so much pain here, but the side of my leg came out. I didn't realize that it had anything to do with my gallbladder. I finally did the flush, and I could not believe how much garbage came out. And it was like, I just called a friend of mine, because that was green bowel movements. I said, are you kidding me? All of those green blobs came out of my liver? He said, yeah. I said, there was like 2 toilet bowls. He's like, oh, you're going to have to do it again in 6 weeks. But I wanted you to know 2 days later, the numb spot in my leg was gone, and it felt like you just took a chunk out of my side. And my energy level in the next week just went up dramatically, because my liver was able to function. Questions? None?
Yeah. These flushes, liver flushes, gallbladder, would one for good health do this annually or only when it's needed? Is it
I
good maintenance?
would do it every couple of years just to do it. We have to list in the office. I do them about every 2 years.
You've got a list of what?
How to do a flush.
How to do it? Oh, great.
It's real simple.
Okay.
You basically you eat lunch, don't eat after 2 o'clock. At 6 o'clock you have an Epsom salt cocktail. That's a laxative.
Mhm.
At 8 o'clock you have another Epsom salt cocktail. And then that starts getting everything flowing, so don't think you're passing gas or anything. Just to sit on the toilet to see. And then usually everything from your eyeballs on down starts coming out. Then at 9:30 you drink 6 ounces of extra virgin organic olive oil.
You drink how much olive oil?
6 ounces.
Of
Mixed-
olive oil?
Of mixed with juice of grapefruit and juice of the lemon. Actually, that tastes pretty good. It tastes like sweet and sour. Then you sit at a 45-degree angle, so it kind of sits right there by your liver. And then, go to bed or whatever. The next morning you have another Epsom salt cocktail at 6 a.m. and one at 8 a.m. And usually shortly after that, all this garbage comes out of your liver that you can't imagine. And you start eating lunch, you're going to feel kind of washed out that day because you've lost a lot of fluid and stuff. And then each day after that, man, you just feel so much better.
So that takes 2 years. You best to do this over a weekend or something. It takes 2
Well,
days. when
you're
not-
really going to have a problem that night and the next morning.
Great. Sounds
Usually
good.
by lunchtime you're fine, just from 6 o'clock at night to 12 o'clock the next day. You'll probably have stuff come out of you the rest of the day, the next day or so, but not like you gotta, make a mad dash to the woods or something. Or the outhouse. Okay? Any other questions? You better edit that out of the video.
Are you recording?
Yes, I was just thinking
You
the
said
same
2
thing.
tablespoons of dragged apple cider vinegar with what?
A glass of water.
Anything else?
Yeah. And drink that. That helps alkalize you too.
So we do it in the morning or the evening, or
You can have that as you want your water, your drink with your meal. Have that.
3 times a day?
Sure. Tastes really good now. Obviously you don't do too much if you do it every day, but really, Bragg's is real good. Or if you don't get that apple cider vinegar, make sure it's not clear, that it has the mother thing still in there. Okay, because that's where the probiotics should come from. And the good stuff. You don't want to filter too much or pasteurized. You know, Bragg's, there's certain things you wanna kind of, you know, spend a little extra money and get, you know, so that's really gonna help keep you healthy. But that will stop any heartburn.
If you've already had your gallbladder removed, what?
The reason you had your gallbladder removed because it was holding all the toxic chemicals that your liver was making, okay, or was loaded with. So remove your gallbladder, your liver still has all those toxic chemicals in it. So doing a liver flush will still help. They're also finding out that after 10 years, your gallbladder grows back.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's just a pouch, you know, that's kind of got a muscle to help squeeze things out, but it becomes the bag that holds where your liver is. But they're finding out with now MRIs and stuff, the people that had the gallbladder out have a gallbladder again. Yeah, so it's something that will regenerate, you know. But your gallbladder, and then what happens, usually people after they get their gallbladder removed have chronic diarrhea. Because now the toxins are just dripping straight into your intestine every time you eat. Okay, and so they usually have a more, you know, severe case of diarrhea. You still have to clean out the liver, because that's what diseased the gallbladder. So by taking it out, I mean, the gallbladder is what's giving you a lot of pain. So removing it symptomatically, you feel better, but you really didn't fix what caused the problem to begin with. And so that's why people end up having chronic diarrhea after, because the liver's still loaded with junk. You gotta clean out the liver.
Is heartburn the same thing as acid reflux or no?
Pretty much.
Okay.
There's like vague differences between how far it comes up. You know, like reflux can be different than heartburn, but it's not really. You know, it says reflux, the food came up higher in your esophagus and burned more. And one of the biggest causes of heartburn or reflux is because when you have a lot of gas in your, yeast in your intestine that are thriving off the sugar and producing gas, well, gas is either going to go up or go down. If it's in the upper portion of your intestine, it tends to go up in the form of a burp. Okay? Or, you hear people do that all the time? You ever follow us do that? Little baby burps. Well, every time that valve opened up to let the gas out, some acid came in. And your esophagus isn't designed to be able to handle acid, so that's where the burn comes from. So if you get rid of the yeast and you get rid of the gas, and then it's not constantly releasing up.
How do you pronounce the word there, Querceti?
Quercetin. That's a natural antihistamine. Somebody's buying health food store.
A natural what?
Antihistamine.
Oh, okay.
You know, the one enzyme formula we have in the office, Nasal Plus, seems to be the most incredible thing we've come across. NSL Plus has some of it in it, but that works better than anything I've ever seen. That supports your kidneys. You know, if you got allergies and dark circles, it's coming from your kidneys.